Hey ho people, it's Stylosa and Kieran from UnitLost.com. And first of all, I want to apologise for the lack of content on the channel over the last, well, I think it's a week or so. It's a week, about a week. We've been having some problems with Machinima. Now, in case anybody doesn't know, we're actually a Machinima partner channel. When you're a gaming channel on YouTube, if you want to become, well, if you want to monetize your content, you have to, become a partner with one of the content networks. So in our case, that network is Machinima. What I want to do though is just take you back in time to, and speak a little bit about Unit Lost and hopefully, tell you about the situation that we currently find ourselves in, which is pretty bad.
Not the best of places to be stuck in, is it?
No. Okay, so first of all, Unit Lost, I think we started Unit Lost about February I think it was March last year, really. We really started focusing on it because, to give you a little bit of history about, myself and Kirioff, we actually had a web design business which paid the bills, but it's not where our heart was. We always wanted to start, a PC gaming media company, and we finally took the plunge and thought, you know what, we'll put everything we've got into this new company, which was to be Unit Lost. Because if anybody doesn't know where our name comes from, if you play Command and Conquer, when a unit dies,
you should have played it.
You should have played Command and Conquer. So that's where it comes from, Unit Lost, and which is quite clever. At least I think it is, anyway.
Sounds good as well.
Yeah, it does. So we put everything we had into starting this business. Now, we knew it would be difficult. That's another key point as well. We are a business. We're not just a random YouTube channel. We are a business. We've got a YouTube channel, a website, forums. We're trying to build a community here, and obviously we depend on other things apart from YouTube to keep ourselves afloat. But anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. So in October of last year, we actually finally got a partner contract with Machinima. Now, the way we got this contract, they never actually approached us. At no point did they approach us. I approached them, and it was luck. I randomly sent an email out to a couple of people at Machinima stating what Unit Lost was, what we're going to do with the channel. Make it look attractive to them as a proposition, because when you enter into an agreement, it's you and the network, the ad provider basically on YouTube, which in our case is Machinima. So we make content, they display ads on our content. That's and we share the revenue, and that's how it works. I remember in that day in October when I got the contract, finally all sorted out, and we're in their network. Which I will state, our contract is not a set period of time either. It's a
in perpetuity.
I'll let Kirioff say that because I can't say it. In perpetuality or something like that. But I'll let him say it again.
I can't say it now. You throw.
Yeah, basically, it just means it just means it's rolling. It's like forever and a day, which is like completely illegal. You can't have a contract which is forever, because that's just like you just can't have that. That's just crazy. That's why I made, because they basically offered two contracts, and I said, look, I want this contract. I don't want to be locked into you for a period of time because I don't know what the future will hold. Anyway, so going back to this day in October, we get the contract. It's great. It's fantastic. We go out down a pub and have a drink because we're English, we're British. That's what we do. So we're like, well, this is amazing. Finally, we're going to monetize our YouTube. What we're doing on YouTube, because we make money off the adverts on UnitLost.com, and we make money off YouTube at that point, which was fantastic. We've got another revenue stream because, we're a business, and I will say this, we don't make much money. He's laughing. I could go into a sob story about, how, well, essentially Unit Lost it's my business, but Kirioff works with me, yeah? So I control the incoming money, and then obviously I make payments out. But let's just say I'm not exactly in a situation to pay myself, which, is hardly ideal. But, just ignore that. That's the choice I've decided to make, in terms of making Unit Lost grow. So, we're finally a mission partner. Now, we expected basically a shed load of assistance to be given to us from Machinima. They've got a big network. As far as I was aware at the time, Machinima were the network you wanted to be associated with. They've got massive channels. They do all kinds of different content. This big support network. Great. So we're in their network. First thing I say, now this was literally the first thing. Another thing in this video, I'm not going to go into detail on things, or I'm not going to quote directly emails, or I'm not going to mention names, or I'm not going to basically slanderize anybody, because what's the point? We're above that. I'm not here to start a history fit. We're just here to tell you what has happened with Machinima and basically what it's like being a Machinima partner. So we come to this point where I've asked them for help. Well, literally the first thing I said to them was, "Do you have a central resource, a forum? Like a Machinima partner forum?" No. So I was quite surprised at that. I thought, well, hang on a minute. How do people work together? I want to contact people in the same area, like PC gaming, and work together with them, do cross-channel stuff, it'll benefit both of us and ultimately benefit Machinima if you think about it, because the more views they get on any content in their network, the more money they get. Yeah, so it's like, a no-brainer. So after telling me, no, they don't have this in place, I then said, do you have a list of channels I could work with? And they said, no, we're not going to give you that information. So I'm like, Kiriov's laughing because quite literally it's laughable. It's like, what? Okay, I could search YouTube and find these channels, yeah. But I'll tell you this now, anybody who runs a YouTube channel, if you get a message off some random channel saying, why don't we work together? Number one, you probably don't even read your email inbox on YouTube because our channel, we're approaching 5,000 subscribers, 1.5 million upload views. The amount of messages I get a day is just mind-blowing, So a big channel is just going to be flooded with messages, they ain't going to read the message. So basically, that is no way to treat us, So it's like, well, okay, fair enough, whatever. We're left to our own devices. So we continue for months and months and months. Basically up to the point we're at now, where, we've been making money off Machinima, not a killing, but we're making enough to, keep the business rolling over. And if you look at unit lost, it is getting bigger and bigger, more growth's come through, which is, pretty good, but it's very slow. And this is going to sound well cheesy. I'm a businessman, right? And so is Kiriov. And it's like, you look at things and you have to say, like, how long is it going to take for this to become an actual business which will properly support, initially meaning Kiriov and then going forward. And it's like, you look at the projections and you're like, this is, we need help. Like, literally, to make anything grow on YouTube, right, you need help. You can't do it on your own. You need help off you would think, off the network you're part of. So, leading on more and more emails, back and forth, myself and Machinima, literally asking them for help and getting on. The way Machinima work is you have like a case manager, well, not a case manager, but like a channel manager who manages your case, and he's supposed to be, or she is the person you go to and say, I've got a problem, or I want to do this, or can you help me with this? Well, I'm afraid the one that we've been dealing with, quite literally, I don't think even reads the emails that were sent. No. Based off the responses I've been getting, which is laughable. It's like, what's going on here? I'll give one example. We asked for Diablo 3 beta keys. We knew Machinima had quite a few of these beta keys because a lot of their channels, the bigger channels, these are basically the channels they only really care about, had loads of beta keys and were like giving away beta keys and doing things like that. So there must be some kind of communication going on there with Machinima. We asked for beta keys and I was effectively told, no, that content is reserved for big channels. And it's like, hang on a minute. So straight away that got sparks flying in my head. Big channels, unit lost. We want to be a quality operation. We want to, we've got all the community in place, which is more than basically any YouTube channel has got, unless they're, the main channels like your Yogscast and people like that. They've got all that foundation in place. But we've already got that in place now to begin with. We're ready to grow, sort of thing. We're passionate about it as well. We really, 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 really want to make a success of it. But no support from Machinima. It's like, that was an eye opener to me. I was like, I can't believe this. I just could not believe that, that level of ignorance was coming off them. So anyway, obviously we needed the money. So, we just had to take it with a pinch of salt, carry on doing what we were doing, and try and get to the next level, try and get the next, video liked by whoever, or, really, really bust the gut. So instead of really focusing on the content, we're having to focus more time on trying to promote what we've already made and the stuff we are making. And it's stressful. I mean, my work day, and I guess I know Kiri's is the same, there's no guess about it. You're looking at 10 hours, maybe even 12 hours a day. And it's like, for what? Not much in terms of money, because at the end of the day, it comes down to money. We have to make a living in this world. And you would think, given the amount of effort and hard work we put into it, we would be shown some kind of respect from Machinima, which unfortunately we're not. Before Kiriov goes crazy, what I want to say is as well is, it's frightening how, for channels who are looking at Machinima or maybe think, hey, I can make money off YouTube, getting a partnership is a step in the right direction. But a partnership with Machinima, I'm not too sure, because if you are a business like ourselves, which is kind of a rarity, I think anyway.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they have YouTube channels. It's a hobby. You might make a couple $100 a month off your hobby. That's great. Well, why would you care? I think that's the ideal person Machinima want to deal with. Whereas us, because we want to develop ourselves, and we've committed, we've got the drive to take ourselves onto the next level. It's kind of a hassle to them. It's like they don't really want to bother with us. It's like, but let's get to the current situation. What's, effectively caused this video. So, you probably know what's been going on with the reply girls. Well, I'll let Kirill tell you, because my voice is starting to work.
Well, you will have seen that the Yogscast started a campaign, I think is the best phrase for it, against the whole reply girl scene that's sprung up fairly recently, where you go to a popular video, and instead of seeing related videos in the related video section, you instead see any number of girls half dressed with the camera very cunningly pointed at their only assets. And this is, we're not in a position to be personally affected by this as such. It's not like they're leeching money off us. Our videos aren't popular enough for that. But that doesn't stop it from being wrong. It's misleading people into clicking something that's unrelated to what they're looking for. It's basically abusing the system, taking advantage of something.
So how does Machinima come into all of this?
Well,
this is the interesting bit.
I was quite surprised when I was reading the Yogscast thread about it on their forum to find that Machinima had signed one of the Reply Girl channels, a channel called Megan Speaks. She's fantastically annoying. But that was surprising by itself, because we were under the impression that Machinima had changed their ways. They have previously had somewhat of a reputation for signing quantity over quality, and we had assumed that had changed.
But obviously, going off the emails and the communication, I've basically explained to you what goes on with ourselves and Machinima. It's
not
hardly really come as a surprise to us,
So that was a bad start to discovering just how little Machinima seemed to care, basically. Once we discovered that, there was a bit of a stirring up, as it were, when a guy called Joe, who runs a gaming channel, he made a video about this Megan Speaks channel, saying that she was terrible and she sucked, which is absolutely correct. But he used a thumbnail showing her for this video as a sort of, a bit of a nod to this is how she gets her traffic. She then approached Machinima, who had the video taken down on the basis of copyright claim. That doesn't work because thumbnails are not subject to copyright law, which has been established in a court case. It's just how it is. They effectively abused the copyright claim system and filed a false one to get the video taken down.
See, what Kirios just said, it kind of outlines the situation. This is then when we began asking for contract terminations with Machinima. We are not a YouTube channel. We're Unit Lost. This is a brand, yeah. This is a brand that needs to be attractive to advertisers, and other people in the PC gaming, hardware, whatever sector. A lot of my day I have to actually spend, contacting PR departments and saying, hey, would you like to provide products for a hardware review show? And before they send anything over, they're going to look at what we're doing. Are you associated with Machinima? It's like, that's a bit of a, they've got a bit of a dodgy image at the moment. And it's like, oh, okay. So you can see from our point of view where it now becomes a problem that we are associated with Machinima. Because I see my company, Unit Lost, as a quality outfit. We, if anything, we promote we are freedom of speech. We say what we like about PC games. So for them to see a company we are doing business with effectively say, no, this is what we want. We don't want that on YouTube. Get rid of that. Do this, do that. Let's sign a Reply Girl channel, which is no content at all. Because all a Reply Girl does is replies to the most popular videos with exactly the same title as the video, trying to get basically on the related videos list on YouTube to get views to make money, right? Which ultimately sums up the way Machinima appear to operate, which is they look at a channel, they look at the subscriber count, they look at the view count, and they go, okay, we can make this much money, take the channel on. One quite alarming thing I want to raise is I was having a conversation with a chap from Machinima who's supposed to be my case manager. Here, Kirios laughing because this is bad. 3 or 4 emails into the chain, he emailed me back and said, oh, what channel are you? Now, this email chain was concerning ideas for new shows. You know, in fact, we tried to approach Machinima and said, look, you don't have anybody on the ground in the UK. Why not allow us to come and do a, we could film I-44, I think it was at the time, it might have been I-43, which is it's the Insomnia LAN events in the UK, which is a big event. You know, we could be your boots on the ground. And they just literally said, that sounds great. That was the email back to me for that. And it's like, what? I'm asking for support. There's nothing. But then for them to say to me, you know, oh, what channel are you again? It just basically shows how ignorant they are. And, you know, as we've said, we are a business. We need to maintain our image, and our image is not that of being associated with a company that decides it can do what the hell it likes and takes no interest in us, because ultimately we generate them money. I can't go into the details of the contract, but we generate them more money than they generate us. That's just how it is.
That might even be an understatement.
However, I asked them, you know, quite civil. I said, you know, gave them the reasons why and said, look, we don't want to be part of your network anymore because it's causing us problems with getting advertising deals. Yeah. They emailed me back and said, we're not terminating contracts at this time. Right. So I'm like, okay. So then I emailed them back with more information. They then send the same thing back to me. So I'm like, what's going on here? You know, in the grand scheme of things, our channel with our, 1.4, almost 1.5 million views in Machinima's network is nothing. Yep. So why would Machinima not grant our wish? You know, we've basically generated them money, for the last 6 or 7 months. What have they been, it's like, why are they not showing us any type of respect? I think the issue with Machinima is they literally don't care. They don't give a damn. It's like, well, whatever. We're not terminating your contract because why would we terminate it? Because we make money off it.
It's a fire and forget.
Unfortunately, they don't make money off us anymore. Which this is bad for us because this means we don't make any money off YouTube. I've removed all the adverts off my YouTube channel, off all the content, because I am not generating money for a business which literally doesn't give a damn about us and doesn't care.
Yeah.
Why the hell would I generate them money? So what is the point of them keeping us locked into this contract, which is probably extremely illegal to be doing? So,
I think that's...
In fact, dare I say it, this basically amounts to slavery, you could say.
We're effectively working for no money in a contract that we don't get anything from a company who have absolutely no moral or ethical standards whatsoever. That's basically what it boils down to.
We don't want nothing to do with Machinima anymore, and through the contact I've had with them, which again I'm not going to go into specific details and quotes because that would be, that's just not the way we operate. We are now stuck. Effectively, our channel is stuck because I can't put content on it. Well, I could, but the content would generate no income, so you'd be effectively working for nothing. If I did put adverts on it, I'd be generating them income, which I'm not prepared to do because they don't treat us with any respect or anything like that. So I think if you want to help us out in this situation, then, by all means, promote the video around as much as you can. Yeah. Twitter, you can contact Machinima at Twitter. I think it's just at Machinima. I think there's Machinima Realm. What we'll do is we'll put all the links in the description below, including some of the various figureheads of the company, because this is not acceptable. And I don't understand where they think they can get off dictating to us, saying, no, we're not cancelling any contract. You do as you're told. When I'm afraid we're the ones who generate, them income. We make the content. How the hell can they keep us locked into this thing? And again, going back to the fact we've removed the ads, this is our livelihood we're dealing with now. This means that, what do I do the next time I have to come to pay John? What do I do? I might have savings in place so I can kind of deal with it for a bit, but there'll come a point where their actions has basically caused our collapse, which is just...
The fact is that the reasons for leaving Machinima are... In many ways, they're just not financial. If we wanted to just make money, we would just accept it and we would sit back and just say, well, okay, we'll just keep working.
There comes a point in your life where you have to stand up for what you believe in, basically, and it's like, we're not just going to sit there, we're not going to roll over like Machinima expect us to do and continue generating their money, because that's unacceptable. Hopefully they've seen this video, they see the error of their ways and they release us from the contract. As we said, please tweet them. We're going to set up a forum thread, which... in our forum, so you can leave messages of support and whatnot.
The bottom line is that we point blank refuse to earn money for a company that
we won't be held to ransom.
No.
I don't care who they are. They're not holding us to ransom, which is quite basically illegal. And, it's just not going to happen.
Why would we help someone who doesn't care about their partners, who doesn't care about the people that are working for them, who doesn't have any, they don't have any respect for the people that are earning their money? Why would you stay in a job like that if you could get out? And that's the thing, we want to get out, and they're telling us that we can't, simply because they can. And
it's almost like they're holding on to an asset of our company and saying you can't have it. They've got no grounds to do so. So guys, we've been Kirioff. Well, he's Kirioff, and I'm Stylosa from UnitLost.com. And hopefully we'll catch you next time.
Yep.
Toodaloo.